Hey, what's going on? I'm gonna do some puzzles on Lichess because got to get the people what they want. Got to get the people. Please do more vids with puzzles. So here it is. You know, Sibit, the channel where you get what you want. Sometimes, you know, when I can. I'll try. I have a lot of requests like queued up that I'll try to get to. Some interesting suggestions, etc. But let's move on to, wow, the puzzles. The puzzles. Wow. Let's count the material. Material is equal. We do have 2 extra pawns, but we have to be really worried about a rook coming to the e file, right? So what to do? Do we evacuate the building with the king? That's my first instinct, just evacuation in the station. And the king should be like check here, the king should be relatively safe here. Remember our pattern recognition? The knight defending the king, the knight and the king here will stand pretty well together. But the question is, do we first flick in a check? It would seem to be useful. That seems to me like it should be useful. Oh, this is hanging as well. Hello. So trying to get my bearings in this position. So if we take this, there's still rook e1 though. Yeah. Okay, but if we take on f2, if we take on f2 and rook takes, then we can take this and interpose the rook. Isn't that something that we like? So take on f2 first. We can take with the king, rook takes, and rook e1 there. But if he takes with the king, then we start checking maybe. Queen g5. And the king has to come here, and then we can't have problems. So I'm going to take on f2. So this also fits in with what we talked about in the earlier tactics video, where we should be looking at the forcing moves. So the forcing moves are checks, then we have the captures, and then some threats. So like king d7, which I thought of first, is actually should have been kind of last, but I was trying to react to white's threats. So let's try this. Best move, and now we want to take this and interpose. So I think the puzzle should have had this as well. That's the problem with computer-generated puzzles. Perhaps they don't, you know, let you finish out the lines. Okay, on to the next one. We are down a pawn at a quick glance. I'm immediately trying to find a forcing move here, and yeah. So immediately I'm attracted to the check, just because black can't capture because of the pin on this pawn. And we don't actually have to look any further. Don't look any further. Well, let's do that actually, because so I want to play knight f6, king h8, if you can imagine. And when the king is on h8, I want to play queen h4. The knight is on f6. So then we're threatening checkmate. No, perhaps a better move is queen to f5. Because we want to have the queen on a square that's covering f6. So that g takes f6 is met with bishop takes f6. And that's, you know, still just forcing moves. Knight f6, forcing king h8. So we try to threaten checkmate, that's a forcing move. And then we have to find, if he takes, do we have a forcing move? Yes, bishop takes f6. And that's why we need to cover the knight. So I think queen f5 should do a trick, because then g6 becomes forced. And then we should have a knight discovery, like knight to d5. So g6, knight d5. Yeah, and we take, oh, hang on a minute. A queen is hanging there. Do we have anything better? Perhaps. Knight f6, king h8. Where do we put the queen? Queen h4, I thought h6. And then what? No, queen e4. Then he takes, yeah. Queen f5, g6. But maybe then we come back to h3. And then the discovery. Yeah. Let's do that. So this was a given. And I thought this one. Okay, and it just gives up the queen, not the most testing line, so we just take the queen. Okay. On we go. Whoa, we're down a rook. A rook are risky, but we can regain material here immediately. We can also threaten checkmate, which is always nice. And it's doubly nice because queen c5 threatens queen e7 mate. And if the knight covers it, let's say knight to d5, then we have queen to c8 mate. So we don't have a check, so we're looking for a forcing move. Check captures threats, so okay, we do have capture, which comes into consideration, but first I'm attracted to the threat, threaten checkmate. It also blocks the king in case black could castle, we don't know that. So now all we have to do is figure out what opportunities black has with his queen. We're covering b2, we're covering c2 with the queen, now on c5. So the only available check is on e4, Czechoslovakia. But then, if the king comes to f2, which is now available with the queen on c5, it seems to me geometrically that the queen on e4 can't give a check to the king on f2. This is covered by the queen. These squares are covered. This is covered. I don't see a check, so I will go for the move queen to c5. And okay, the computer just tries to avoid mate and gives up the queen. So I can. It's a good puzzle in a way, but it would be nicer if the moves that are selected are more testing. Like that's a good thing about human-made puzzles. I know, puzzles entered by humans. This one looks pretty tough. We're down a piece. We have one pawn for it. Okay, so what's going on? We're not getting checkmated. We do have rook d4, and at a glance, maybe this is just an easy puzzle. Rook d4, we win the queen. Knight d3 is not available. So okay, let's not spend time here. This is probably an easy one. Just win the queen. There was nothing else to be done. Oh, he goes on. He goes on to the break of dawn. I guess d3 and then check, check. d3 rook here. Perhaps not as easy as I thought. What? Okay, it's not nonetheless. Nonetheless. Probably d2 now. And queen f5. Okay, that was a bit, yeah, I don't know. Okay. Okay, this looks more interesting. I think I see it immediately. What do I? So, forcing moves, no checks, but you can capture here. And I was thinking if the queen moves, you take on d5, and whichever knight black takes, there's knight takes e7. We would, however, have to calculate. Aha, I think I see it. We would have to calculate knight takes e3. So knight takes e6, we win a pawn. Knight takes g3. I was thinking queen e1 there. Attacking the queen. Let's say queen d7. Knight takes e7, king h8, b takes e3. And we can probably protect the knight here. So I'm going to take it. This would win as a piece, although there's bishop a6 at the end, so maybe it's not completely clear. I mean, we could take and just win a pawn. Or we could play queen f3. Queen summer takes, which wins the exchange. No, then there's bishop b7 there. Should we just win the pawn or go queen e1? Queen e1. Queen d6, knight takes e7. And again, flicking takes on c8. Ah! Queen e1, queen d7, knight takes, king h8. Can take here maybe. I think, come on. Okay, yeah, I got confused. I thought I missed something, but I just take the queen. It was, you know, when people make a move fast, sometimes you forget what you were thinking. What are you thinking about? Okay, here we are in a position with equal material. I am attracted to ideas of knight to f3 here. I think I might go for it. I could start with rook g8 also, which has the same idea, just to give a check here. But then, I don't know, there's no then. So rook g8, so checks and forcing moves. So okay, what we have to analyze here is the forcing move knight f3. If white takes, there's rook g8, winning the queen. There's also rook g8 immediately. And wherever the queen moves, knight f3. We can't take on d3 because queen takes h8. I think rook g8 because white has to take here to protect the bishop. And then we play knight f3. Goes to the corner, and now we take it. We take it. Success. Yes, success. Very nice. It's getting darker by the minute here. Okay, this one, jacks, captures, threats, forcing moves in the station. So what are the forcing moves? Knight takes e6, yes. But the one screaming to be played is queen takes g7. Very forcing because king takes, knight takes e6. Very importantly, it's double check. So there's no queen takes g3. King has to move. Now we take here. And more importantly, we have a square for a king, so there's no back rank. So we win a piece. Excelente. On to the next one. We are down material here. We're down two pawns. Two pawn. to have a 2-point averted. However, this pinning situation is pretty nice. But can we take advantage of it? I'm thinking if we can play some kind of h5 takes f5 threatening g4, and if queen f4 check, king here, queen back, we're threatening to win the piece. That's the only idea I see. But it's forcing, we're trying to break through, like h5 threatens to take. The only thing is it enough to win the piece? Because this pawn is very fast. Very fast. So perhaps this is not entirely clear, but I'm going to go for this idea of h5. I'm more attracted to h5 because f5 takes, h5, maybe there's f6 and we can't take because the knight hangs. So I'm most attracted to this move. I just don't see anything else. And maybe g4 immediately is also an idea. Yeah, which is actually much better. I will win the piece. Okay. Here we are immediately attracted to jacks, captures. Oh, I see it. Okay. Jacks. 2 jacks. These have to be analyzed. But we can kind of quickly disregard them because both jacks on b5 and a4. Black can play bishop to d7, right? Blocking the jack. So what do? We look for forcing moves. Captures. We looked at jack, captures. Take on g4. Doesn't seem like we accomplished much. Threats. What are threats? f3, that's a threat. We're threatening to take up the bishop 3 points with a pawn 1 point. There's another threat that I'm attracted to, and that's f4. And why is that strong? Because 1 point threatens 3 points. 3 points. And if the knight moves, this is under attack and we take it. And he can't make a session, so bishop takes e2, queen takes e2, and now we have a deadly pin on the e file. So f4 is the move. This is no. Oh, it's not the move. Then okay then. No, it's the move, but it, that moment when you think you solved it and then no, you didn't. That's a bummer. I was gonna make this like, you know, yeah, maximum 15 minutes. I think we're closing in, but we're on such a good streak. I have a bad feeling about this one, however. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're up a pawn, but it's clear that black has sacrificed a pawn here somewhere to open up our king. Meanwhile, we would like to get to black's king, but I don't see that happening. Okay, jacks, we don't have any jacks. Captures, we can take, queen takes e4, makes no sense. Knight takes d6, unlikely to be a solution. Knight takes c7, I don't see anything. Threats, knight a7. Seems a bit ridiculous, king takes, and then what? a6. I don't see it working. And also don't see what we threaten, like a7 check, just king a8. This looks like a tough cookie. But hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. So what are the other threats? We looked at checks, no checks, captures, no. But threats, like, okay, knight a7 threatens the queen. What about f5? It threatens the rook. And where does it go? It would like to go to h6, but it's covered by our bishop, right? So I'm thinking after f5, this knight will not have any squares, because if the rook goes to f6, then we can play f3, and the knight looks like it's trapped to me. All we have to do is make sure that once we take on e4, our queen can go somewhere where it covers this one, and it seems to me that f5 is working. I will go for it. I don't see any other idea. So, oh, puzzle failed. Okay, that's good. I had a bad feeling about this one. Can we start with f3 maybe? Did I get? Yes, I got it. Oh, you can play rook. No, you can't play rook easy. Why is this not working? I don't get it. So now I'm thinking it's f3, knight f6, f5, and the rook is trapped. But why not f5? Let's see the solution. I think it's f3. Yeah. Let's quickly. So okay, let's. This might slow down my webcam and stuff, but let's see. So f3 is plus 2.9, but what is wrong with f5? What did I miss? Oh, we can't capture. Yes, okay. Of course. Okay, a tactical oversight, but all in all, I think I did pretty well. So, yeah, the last one, just calculation and tactical oversight. I had the right idea, but in the wrong order. But overall, I hope this was beneficial and helped you. Please leave some comments, you know, if you liked it, if you would like to see more. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye bye.